Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's mukbang is a recipe that I found on an Autoimmune Protocol website. It is called One Pot Turkey Spinach Artichoke Hash. I mentioned briefly before that I'm not much of a cook, so we're going to see how this one tastes. And by accident, instead of adding more nutritional yeast at the end like I was thinking, I definitely dumped a bunch of ginger into this. Good thing I like ginger, but this is about the third time now that I have messed up a recipe thinking that I was adding in nutritional yeast when it was actually ginger. Time to wise up and maybe label my clear jars that are side by side in my cabinet all the time. I'm smart. And as always, you can kind of see her. Harper, you say hi? Do you say hi to everybody? I have Harper with me. My little shadow. Literally, she's my shadow today. So before any more time goes by and my food gets any more cold, let's see how the ginger was as an addition. Steam's still coming off it. Good job, Team Krista. I didn't completely screw this recipe up. Yay! So what all is in this recipe is ground turkey, spinach, artichoke hearts, leeks, olive oil, full-fat coconut milk, nutritional yeast, sea salt, some juice of a lemon for some acidity, and oh yeah, ginger. Tastes pretty good to me though. So I thought today while we are chatting and eating that I would maybe just talk a little bit about what the whole world is going through right now. Game of Thrones. Tomorrow is the big finale and my heart is both nervous and excited to see what the writers have put together. I'm nervous to see how many of the main characters they kill off on this final season. I'm excited to see who's going to take the throne. Coming off of a rough episode last week with what Daenerys did, I still am just shaking my head a week later. Can't believe that she torched the entire city. She should have just went to the Red Tower, to the Red Keep, and had the dragon blast the fire all over Cersei instead of kill everybody below, because that was just so uncalled for. Part of you knew she was going to do it, but the other part just hoped so badly that they weren't going to do it. And then when they went on the ground and they showed you all the people burning and dying, it was just too much. It was just too much. Try to get a little bit of everything on this bite and you guys can take a little peek ski at it. The other thing last week's episode has me still thinking about was the huge lead up all these seasons through in how Cersei was going to die. You didn't know who was going to kill her. Maybe Arya was going to be the killer and get to cross her off of her list. Maybe Tyrion was going to sneak somehow and do it during the week before his episode. And then last Sunday, I thought maybe Jaime was going to sneak back and go and kill her. Sorry about that. I had my camera die during making the video for cooking this dish, so I resorted to using my cell phone for the mukbang today. So, technical difficulties, guys. As I was saying, I really kind of thought in the week leading up to episode 5 here that maybe Jaime had changed his tune on Cersei and was on his way back home to kill her. And so when he didn't kill her, when he went to save her, just this, shaking my head, couldn't believe it. And then nobody got to kill her. Nobody. She got to die in just like a split second, an avalanche of bricks with the love of her life. Didn't seem very fitting that she got to go out like that. I'm still riding the wave that Arya got to kill the Night King, though. That was pretty badass. Not gonna lie, for a minute there, I really thought that the show was gonna be over and they were gonna have to fill 2 episodes with who knows what content, and that poor Bran was just gonna get knifed by the Night King, and then all of a sudden Arya's badass swooped out of nowhere, out of thin air, pretty much in the wind. Yep, it was pretty badass. So it would be cool if she could take the throne at the end of all of this. But she doesn't want the throne. She'd be more of a trained assassin for whoever does take the throne. That is kind of the question everyone's going through right now, is who will sit on the Iron Throne? Who's going to be the victor? I need to ponder that still, because I have a couple of theories going on in my mind about who that could be. I'm so happy this food turned out so good. Sometimes with these new recipes, it can really go one way or the other, and this day it went in the right way. Harbor Grace, are you hungry? You want to try some? Oh, my bad. Here, baby. Up here. Good girl. Another thing that bummed me out with Jaime was that After all this time, you finally got to see him be with Brienne of Tarth. Just to leave her like 2 days later and break her poor heart. I don't know about you guys, but she's become just one of my favorite characters on the show. She's just so purely good, always trying to just do the right thing and protect the innocent, and to have her man treat her like that and leave back to his sister of all people, what a stab in the heart for her. I still feel so bad for her. And the other person that I'm feeling really bad for is the Hound. I really learned to love the Hound when he and Arya went on their trek together. He just is such a good guy. At first you hated him, but then the longer the show went on, the more you were like, this is a good dude. I really like this guy. And then you knew at the end, you knew something big was going to happen with he and his brother during their battle. I guess the innocent part of me really thought that he was going to defeat the brother and be able to live, but kind of during their battle, I said to my husband, I said, they're both going to die, aren't they? And he kind of was like, no. And I'm like, in my heart, I knew. I'm like, yeah, it's time for us to say goodbye to the Hound. And it was kind of unepic how he ended up dying. I mean, you put a dagger through your brother's eyeball and hence his brain, and he didn't even stop him. I don't know. I think they could have wrote that fight scene a little bit better, but who am I? I'm just a fan. The thing that I've grown to love about ginger is that if you use just the right amount, it leaves a heat in the back of your throat, kind of like capsaicin spice does. But for me, since I have a sensitivity to capsaicin and nightshades, this type of heat is a welcoming heat. It warms me in a good way, where the capsaicin, say from pepper or jalapenos, set my acid reflux on fire. And so I would never want to eat any of those things because it was literally painful. So eating this type of heat is enjoyable. Plus it just has a really mild flavor. It just, I don't know, it just brings out a different note in the food for me. So I don't mind that I accidentally dumped a whole bunch of it on my food today. I'm just still thinking about the show. There's a lot to think about on the show. By this point, a week into episode 5 of last week, we're all sitting here thinking, who's going to kill Daenerys? Who's going to really take the throne? Because she cannot rule over all the kingdoms after just murdering an entire city of people. Unacceptable. So I guess naturally you go and think Jon Snow's gonna kill her, even though he loves her. He's not in love with her anymore because it's his aunt, and he just thinks that's kind of weird now that he knows. And he's such a good guy. He can't just stand by and watch her become Cersei. She's at this point no better than Cersei. What she did to all those innocent people below in the city, that's no different. But at the same time, he doesn't want the throne. So who else could take the throne? Sansa? She's become really strong. She could definitely sit on that throne. And Tyrion could be her hand or possibly her husband. You know, they did have that moment down in the cave when they thought the White Walkers were going to kill them when they were holding hands. It was pretty sweet, and he did say that he was always good to her when they were married. I would like that. I like Tyrion. I just don't know if she would want to leave the North and go be the queen of all seven, what do they call it? The 7 nations? The 7 seas? I don't know. I'm a fan and I've watched all the seasons, but I don't know the technical lingo for all of the different things. Yeah, I don't really know who's going to be the victor. Maybe she will. Maybe she will, because she's worked the entire series long to sit on the throne. Maybe all of the people below will forgive her for what she did. I mean, there's not even that many other people left. Most of the people that survived are her army and her followers. So who knows? Maybe that is how it's going to end. I do watch a few other YouTubers who make mukbangs, and one of my go-tos who I love watching is based, ironically enough, here in the same city as me, Minneapolis, The Hunger Diaries. And she did a really creative mukbang this week with making a throne out of chicken bones. And her theory was that at the end of the show, there's going to be one White Walker still alive. Maybe the Night King didn't really die. Maybe that was just a disciple of his that you think was the guy. And that he's going to come back and he's going to kill whoever's in the throne. And at the end, open up the eyes of, say, Jon Snow or Daenerys, and they'll have blue eyes in the whole entire show. All the people on the show will actually be dead, and that will be the end of the show. One of the theories that I had along the way was that at the very end of the show, the White Walkers somehow will come back, and they will kill all of everybody. I mean, if you think of how long ago the show was, we did go through an ice age, so it would make sense if the White Walkers took over and everything went into snow and into winter permanently. Think about that for a second. Maybe the White Walkers aren't really dead after all. Only time will tell. Tomorrow night. About 24 hours to go. I know I'm not the only one who's excited. I would like to hear what your guys' theories were on the show, because by the time I edit and post this, the show's already going to be done and aired. So it would just be interesting to open up a chat about what you guys have loved about the show, what you haven't liked about the show, who your favorite characters are, what you've thought about what they've done, kind of going off script from the novels. So yeah, if you have the time and you'd like to, maybe leave a comment below on what you loved about Game of Thrones and what you didn't. Harper, come here. Here you go. Can you sit down? Can you sit? Oh, you're so good. You're so good. My puppy. How about a high five? High five. High five. Oh, you are so good. This dog loves her vegetables. Well, I am like getting really beyond full. I thought that I was going to be able to finish all this. I know she could. I know it's really sad. There's only probably like 5 more bites, but my belly is really full, starting to get uncomfortable. So I'm going to take one more big old bite of this food. As the cool kids on YouTube say, Team Big Bites. And I'm going to call it a day. If you guys enjoyed this video, like or comment below. Hit the subscribe button too. I can make more recipe videos if you would like. Anybody out there in the AIP community who is interested in seeing another AIP approved mukbang, feel free to let me know. I am happily satisfied from my meal. And it looks like I have a tiny bit of leftovers for later. Can I have a kiss? And thank you. From me and my girl here, we say, see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.